Hello and good day to you. This is a vlog about how to set up Voicemeeter for a OBS and StreamYard. This is to live stream. It's a piece of software that is an audio mixer, and if you have any live streaming experience, you'll know how difficult it is to get all of the audio into OBS and mixed up because the sound system and everything else to do with the computer comes through, and there's no way that you can really separate them out. Well, there is for some applications such as your Skype, VoIP, and also like TeamSpeak and Discord. You can actually put the output to a specific space, and you can think of these spaces being virtual, and of course the Voicemeeter software does this really well because there are some cables as well which are also virtual cables that you will need, and you download them. So let's get started with a roundup of what we need. So we're going to talk about Voicemeeter. This is a software package that is basically a mixer, and there are three different versions of this. There is the base version, very limited number of inputs. In other words, there are 2 hardware and 1 virtual. Then there is an output, hardware output. 2 of those we can go to speakers and headphones maybe, but this is for very limited use. And then of course you have the Banana. This is Voicemeeter Banana, which is the one we're going to talk about in this vlog, and this has 3 hardware and 2 virtual, and it has 3 outputs. This will become apparent very soon. The last version is more for professionals, I think, and also if you need to upgrade from that, you can have 5 inputs. There's 3 virtual, and 5 outputs. So quite a lot of potential there if you need to route software audio, mix it up and put it out to, for example, you can put it out to OBS. I'll show you that in a moment. So the last thing that you need to get is the audio cables. These are virtual cables. You can get 4. Now, I made the mistake of having A and B for a little while, and it worked fine. I had it all set up and it was working wonderfully. And then yesterday I decided to get the other 2, C and D. I don't know why, but I did, and of course it mucked up everything. So I've only just really got it all working again. I'm hoping that I've done it correctly because I couldn't remember what I did to get A and B working. However, it does seem to be working, so I'm presuming that it's okay. So download those, whichever ones you like. They are donationware, so you can pay from $5 upwards, and of course it depends on how valuable you think that this software is. Now, this is what I find very strange. The playback device is the input, cable input. It goes to the cable output. Well, you would think that's probably logical, but for me it should actually be the wording round the other way, because I think that you'll see why in a moment when I show you the actual Voicemeeter software. So what we're going to do is we're going to optimize the Voicemeeter settings for how I think it should work. Now, there are a lot of videos out there, I mean that, there are a lot, and a lot of people have given their own idea of how you should set up Voicemeeter. Of course, it's actually a godsend, because I was trying to send out OBS to StreamYard, which is what I use. I use StreamYard. StreamYard is a browser-based streaming software package that you have to buy, because otherwise it's pretty pointless. You pay an annual fee to use it, and you can stream, multi-stream basically. You can go to Facebook, you can go to Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, and basically any other software package that can accept certain protocols. And of course this is brilliant, because you can just click the button and you can multi-stream up to 5 different target software packages. So you can also do things like multiple YouTube channels, so like I do, or you can do multiple Facebook pages, and you can stream the same output. That's really useful. So we'll show you that in a moment, how to integrate that into using the Voicemeeter package. So Voicemeeter is basically an audio mixer. It takes all of the audio and produces some output. So your first problem is the microphone, and again, if you're just bog standard, you'll have a microphone that you can just select. Mine is a Blue Yeti. Now what I've got is I've got a minor problem. I've got an additional piece of software in between the microphone and Voicemeeter. It's called Voice Mod, and this software is a voice changer software. When you turn on Voice Mod, you get a funny voice, and you can choose to, you know, this
chipmunk. We've got
echo. There's ones with ambient noise, so like this one, Sleepyhead. Oh, yeah, and there's one
twin birthday where you can sing to you, happy birthday to you, etc. Anyway,
turn that off, because we don't want to really talk about that now. The main point is we're going to have a look at the settings. The software uses the Yeti, and it takes control of the Yeti microphone. The output is going to the aux input on Voicemeeter. I'll show you that in a moment, so you can see that we're using Voicemeeter mixer to output the microphone output, so you can actually hear me, and it's really good. We do have some more control over this, so we'll show you that in a moment, but for now we're going to go and have a look at the other screen. So the other screen is where we have Voicemeeter. This has taken me a little while to work out. So here's StreamYard. You can see StreamYard. I've set up some live streams for later, and we'll show you that in a moment, so you can see how we route the output from OBS and also from Voicemeeter. So first thing you'll notice is the various columns. There's 3 hardware and 2 virtual, plus 3 outputs. So the outputs are probably the first thing we need to set up. So we have A1. I've put this as my microphone speakers, which is basically headphones, in other words. So this is the Yeti headphone socket, and of course I'm wearing earphones for that. So that's the A1. A2, I have 2 of the speakers on my computer. This is a very important factor, so that I can have audio if I'm not using these live streams. I can just turn it on and I will be able to hear whatever I'm doing on the desktop, because the desktop will come out and you just leave it running. Now there are 3 different protocols. There's WDM, KS and MME. These are all different protocols that you can use for audio. I'm using WDM. There's no reason for using that. There are different specifications that you may want to look up. However, you need to make sure that for every device that you're using the same protocol. So I can't use WDM and KS on the same Voicemeeter because it will not work very well and you may get problems. I've already had issues with the fact that if you have the wrong bit rate, then it can actually stop it from working altogether. So you need to make sure that each device is using the same bit rate. So there's nothing on 3. Hardware 3 is nothing. So we have headphones and speakers, and A1, A2, A3 correspond to these A1, A2 and A3 for each device that you have. Now A1 is because I want to listen to the output. I want to be able to hear the output from the chat app and also from Media Player. This is Media Player. I have set the Media Player to WDM cable A output and I renamed it Media Player. This is the virtual cable, VB audio, cable A. Now what you need to do is obviously select that, but in Windows Media Player you go to Options and you go to Devices and you go to Speakers. This is your output for your music, and you select Properties. Here you will select the same device, so cable A input, which is where I get the problem, because it should really be output, I reckon, because it's outputting the music, not inputting the music. So this is Media Player VB audio cable A, and basically it has to be the same, otherwise you will hear absolutely nothing. And obviously you need to apply it and save it and save it again. Right, so that is set up now so that when I play music you'll be able to hear it, hopefully. Now the reason that you can hear it on this video is because it's being mixed in to the virtual column output. I've named it output and it's going to be 2. So all of these, microphone, the chat, the music, and also this column is all going to B2. B2 is what is being recorded in OBS, and you will set OBS to receive the aux from Voicemeeter, so aux input from Voicemeeter. This you could say is your final output. Now these are titles of the columns just to remind you what they are, and they don't come like that. You have to right click it to be able to type in your own name. Now, it's quite useful to do that because you can always forget. As you can see, system input. Now this will be any sound made by the computer. So if you make a mistake or you press a button or you play a video, so that like me, when you want to play a jingle, you can play a jingle. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Now you may or may not have echo from that, because I made the mistake of forgetting to turn off the speakers. So what I have for the output is A1 for the headphones, where I can hear it now, and A2, which is speakers. So really, when I'm doing a live stream, I'm going to turn that off so you cannot hear it. So if I do a jingle again, you should be able to just hear it normally.
Goodbye.
And not have an echo through the microphone, which is why I went to all of this hassle originally, because I had to play my jingles through my microphone, which was very, very annoying. I had no other way of doing it. As you can hear, the music is coming out lovely. You've got my microphone. You've got a chat app, which I will show you in a moment. But before we do that, we're going to have a look at, let's stop the music, and we're going to StreamYard. This is a broadcast area, so we need to go into there, and it will tell you, you've got a microphone and a video setup, which is brilliant. We're currently displaying the same screen that we've got now, but if you go into cam, you'll see the OBS camera, which you need to install, and on the audio we've got the default aux output, which I mentioned earlier. It is set up for speakers, which is my headphones sockets. So when people are talking to me on the StreamYard app, they're coming through on my headphones, and we'll return back to this. So this column here is the microphone. This is the microphone. It's, don't forget, it's being routed from Voicemod. So the Voicemod app, Yeti Voicemod WDM, which is a reason why we're using WDM, because Voicemod is a WDM protocol application. So keep them all the same. That's mainly why we're using that one. So as you can see, it's all set up. There is a little bit of playing around to do. This can change your voice, how you sound, but I'm not going to move it because I've got it set up how I like it. But you can actually change it yourself, and there are lots of things that you can do with EQ, and you can move this dial around. And this one here is for if I become quiet for a moment. You can see that. The background of that went really, really quiet, and it sort of cut out the background. That's the limit. So if you don't have it turned on, then you'll hear everything, every moment of every minute, including my computer running in the background, the fan. So that was a few seconds of quiet, so it allows it to go down. It's the limit on how long it takes to go down and come back up. That is about it for Voicemeeter. We have set up the Windows Media Player. Now we need to have a look at the other option, which will be Skype. The options, settings, and we need to have audio visual. So we have microphone coming in, and the output, which should really be input, which it is. It's should be output from Skype, input into Banana, and it's not. It's the other way around. So this is I've set to cable C input. Chat. I've renamed it chat. Okay. Now we can do a test audio, because that'll play a little tune. And we go over to the other screen. Here we can see that we've got this set cable C output chat. So if you were talking to somebody, you could actually hear them, the audio, through your microphone, through your headset, or through the speakers. And that will go on forever. So that's how you set up a VoIP. There are other VoIPs that you could probably use, like TeamSpeak or Discord. You can also do Messenger, but it's very, very difficult to set up when you're not using it. You can only sort of change the settings of where it goes to when it's running, which is very, very annoying, Messenger. So unless you're making a call, you can't really do anything about it until you're actually called, which is very frustrating. And also it doesn't always save your settings for you. And I've gone through it. I've tried to find another way, and there isn't a way of changing the settings anywhere. If you know, let me know, because it's very, very annoying. But then I would have Messenger coming through there. One last thing that we need to look at is OBS. Oh yes, now, okay. So this is OBS, and it's got, you know, infinite screens. We're not too worried about that. But what you will need to do is tools and virtual cam. It's a plugin. You'll need to download it and install it and then activate it. It can auto start every time you start OBS. It's quite good because it gives you the OBS output as a camera. To have the audio, you need to go into settings, audio, and there it is. Voicemeeter works. That's your only option that you need to have. You can disable all of the other items. You don't need any of those. You don't need a microphone. You don't need anything. You just need to have the Voicemeeter in that box, and that will allow you to record the audio on OBS. So hopefully this is being recorded. Well, there we go. Hopefully all of that has been useful for you. If you have any questions, then let me know. But I'm still a novice myself, and as I say, I had a few issues with this where it went wrong. I installed the C&D and it mucked everything up. So hopefully I've managed to fix it all, and it's all working. So that's good news. And if you have enjoyed it, then don't forget, we need to get a thumbs up, like and a share. And don't forget to subscribe. That's it then. Bye for now.